Hi, I'm Doug Seward, owner and trainer at My House Fitness here in Ponte Vedra Beach. What I'm going to do today is give you a little insight into what we do here, why we do it, and a little bit about some ideas that might work for you with your goals. But I first of all would like to invite you in because we'd like to learn more about your goals and see if the My House Fitness solution isn't the right solution for you. We are a one-size-fits-one studio. We believe that everybody deserves a customized approach to their specific goals. The way we do that is we start every relationship with a comprehensive wellness evaluation. That evaluation is not only height, weight, body composition, measurements, but we also take the time to evaluate your cardio capacity and your strength capacity and muscle balance by body part so that we can identify areas that are strengths, weaknesses, and developmental needs. The way we do that is we run you through a kind of a survey course of exercises during the evaluation that test the performance of joints, the performance of the muscles along the way. Most of our clients fall into the category of adults, active boomers, and seniors. Those three criteria probably encompass about 60% of the clients that come and train with our studio. So I'm going to focus today on some of the things that we do with active boomers and seniors and adults with careers that over time you may have been an athlete or active when you were younger, but over time, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, deconditioning has taken its toll. You may have suffered some injuries, some surgeries that have set you back, some life-changing experiences that have gotten you off track. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do here with those folks in the active boomers category and see if some of those things don't work for you too. First of all, we start out each session with a warm-up. Most of our clients come in for about 10 or 15 minutes on the treadmills or the elliptical machine to get their body temperature up, get their joints ready to go for exercising. Whether they do or whether they don't, we still run through a little bit of a warm-up routine. And one of the routines that we use regularly is take a couple dumbbells like this. I've got some 6-pound dumbbells, and we just try to get the whole body in motion, trying to raise body temperature and get the joints moving so that they're not shocked by the first resistance exercise that they do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to little bend in my knees, go right down the legs to the top of the shoes, keeping my back nice and straight, up, tuck in, squeezing the glutes, raising the dumbbells up to a row position. We do about 10 to 12 of these, just loosening up the hips, shoulders, elbows, raise the body temperature a little bit. About halfway through, about 10 or 12 repetitions, we stop at the top, put palms towards us with the dumbbells, toes out just a little bit, and we work on the hip hinge with a little squat straight down, up, and press. Again, working on the hip flexibility, knee flexibility, a little bit of shoulders, a little twisting of the shoulders, just so that we're kind of doing a system check to make sure everything is working well today. We don't have any discomfort, any muscles that need a little more attention before we start doing resistance training. Our resistance training sessions are interval based. That means we'll go from exercise to exercise. The rest period between exercises will be about the time it takes you to go from one exercise to the other. Then with each round, we'll stop for up to a minute, minute and a half, give you an opportunity to hydrate with some liquids and catch your breath a little bit. But the idea of the interval training on resistance is to keep your heart rate up and keep your metabolism high. And there's studies that claim that up to 72 hours, I believe it's a pretty concrete term that at least 48 hours, your metabolism can stay high using these techniques, and we've seen evidence. I'd direct you to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel to see testimonials there of folks that have had significant changes in their lives. Next thing I'm going to do is consider that maybe the client that I'm training, this was the only warm-up that we did, so we start ramping up into the session a little easier with some more exercises to prepare the body. A lot of active boomers and seniors do desk jobs where they're sitting over a desk. We do a lot of things in our lives, personal devices, whatever, that kind of turn our bodies into clamshells. We spend a lot of time here with the folks that have been deconditioned over time to re-establish the posture that's necessary for an active and healthy life. So this exercise called the face pull works primarily on the rear delts, a little bit on the latissimus dorsi, but the way we do it, I've got about 7.5 pounds on the cable machine. I've got a rope handle here attached to a cable about head height. I extend my arms out fully and I pull back with my elbows high and the handle's coming back to my ears and really squeezing those rear delt muscles so that I can balance them off with the front of my body, my front delts, my pectorals that might be overpowering them and causing my shoulders to slouch forward. Again, we're doing anywhere from 8 to 12 repetitions of this exercise depending on the goals of the client. If the client's trying to build a little more muscle, we'll do shorter sets with a little more weight. If we're trying to tighten and tone, we generally stay in the 10 to 12 repetition category. Next exercise we would move to then, again to work on this reestablishment of a good posture, would be a rowing exercise. Here I've got some long handles attached to the cable machine. When I sit down, it'll again be about shoulder height. I've got 22.5 pounds on here, which is an adequate weight for me and manageable for demonstration purposes. Again, your arms are fully extended, and as you pull back with neutral wrists, you don't want to cup your wrists, you want neutral wrists coming back, and you want to really squeeze those latissimus dorsi muscles in your back to strengthen them and get a strong contraction, because a strong contraction causes space for the nutrients, blood flow, oxygen to get into those muscles so we can create new muscle fibers. Again, about 10 to 12 repetitious. Big squeeze, exhale on the exertions. It's a little counterintuitive with a pulling exercise, but you want to exhale and get fresh oxygen in your body with each repetition. Moving to the next exercise that we would do would be, again, to balance arms. We've worked on the back now. We'll be working on the front of the body in a moment. But right now, I'm going to go with an exercise that'll help us strengthen the tricep muscles in the back of the arm. Take a position on the bench. Face up, feet flat on the floor, elbows pointed at the ceiling, dumbbells next to my ears. I've got 7-pound dumbbells, and I just straighten the dumbbells up, reaching for the ceiling, and hitting again that contraction with a strong squeeze. And exhale on the push. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And a lot of people ask me, it's a good spot to probably talk about this, they ask me about speed of repetitions. There's no extra points for speed. What you want is a full, complete contraction at the top. You want the weight or the resistance to be controlled. So there's no advantage to doing faster, slower. Slow negatives do have an advantage in advanced weightlifting, but for our purposes today, I just want to give you the basic rudimentary fundamentals. Now to balance with the triceps, we want to work the biceps so that we've got good balance in our elbows. And in this case, I'm using a straight bar. We want to pull up the bar with the elbows in a fixed position next to our body. We do not want the elbows to travel out in front of our body, because then we're using leverage instead of lifting with the biceps. We want the biceps to do all the work. Again, I'm really squeezing that contraction at the top, expanding that bicep muscle, creating space for nutrients, blood, oxygen to get into those muscles and create new tissue. From here, I'm going to work now on the front of the body to balance out with the rear delt work that we did just a few minutes ago. What we use is a Smith press for folks in the deconditioned category. We find a lot of folks in the adult years, especially into the active boomer and senior years, are unable to do a push-up flat on the floor on their toes. So what we do is we start them on the Smith press, and with the Smith press we start at an angle, and then gradually over time, as their strength improves, we can work them to the floor. We've had folks in as little as 4 to 6 months be able to do push-ups on the floor. When they walked in, they couldn't do one push-up on their toes. So I'll demonstrate to you how we might use this machine with an active boomer or senior. You want your elbows to come out at a 45-degree angle. You want your chest to make contact with the pad on the bar, and exhale on the push. So you go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're doing a whole body demonstration today. A lot of our clients in the first 4 to 6 weeks will do a whole body routine with them as we learn more about them, because it's like peeling an onion. You're learning every session more and more about your client, their capabilities, and the evolution of their goals. They may have thought they were limited to a certain goal when they walked in the door. Over time, they may aspire to do other things and accomplish other goals. I'm going to demonstrate to you, this is a TRX strap. We've got 2 TRX stations in the studio. We believe strongly in the power of lifting your body weight. It's the only thing you're going to have to do the rest of your life. You're not going to have to do 300-pound bench presses, but you are going to have to lift yourself up out of a chair, off the couch, off the floor, possibly. So lifting your body weight is a big thing as you age. In this case, we're going to do some squats because we're doing a whole body routine today. Arms extended completely. I'm at about a 10 or 15 degree lean here. Feet about hip width apart. I'm going to go down to about just past 45 degrees here, and I'm going to push up. 90 degrees. Always exhale on the exertion. 5, 6, 7, 8, push through your heels, 9, 10, 11, 12. The counter to that, to balance the muscles, there I was working the glutes and the quads. Here, I'm going to be working the hamstrings, very similar to where we started out. There'd be no row in this exercise, but we're going to do a deadlift. I've got 12 pounds here just for demonstration purposes. But again, you're going to want to be hip width apart with your feet. You want to go straight down your legs to the top of your shoes, little bend in the knees so that you keep your back nice and straight and flat. It's up and squeeze. Squeeze those glutes. Again, the squeeze expands the muscle. Okay, so the last section that I want to show you is some additional core work, because it seems to be the most deconditioned part of our active boomers and seniors and adults with careers, and then a little bit of a cool down example. So for core work, of course you can do planks, where you're up on your toes, on your elbows, holding your body nice and tight, contracting your core muscles to hold your body off the ground. Another variation is do that same thing. It's a hollow body hold, where you're holding your shoulders and your feet up in the air. More advanced versions, with clients, we can put a little resistance on to pull them off center, make their body fight against the resistance. You can do a little flutter kick, all while keeping that core nice and tight, the way it should be when we're standing and when we're going through life. The other thing to counterbalance that, to work the back of your body and some additional core strength, is a bird dog. You can do the bird dog without the ball. You're raising opposite leg and hand, working a little bit of the delts, a little bit of the shoulder cradle, glutes, hamstrings, hips. I like to add a little instability with the ball under the midsection. A lot of our active boomers and seniors benefit from some of the exercises we do where we add instability like this, because it helps them with their balance and stability, which is one of the factors that challenges them as they get older. Some of the other things that we do in the cool down is, if we've done an extensive amount of leg exercises in a day, we'll stretch, use stretching exercise like this when the body is nice and warm and pliable. You never want to stretch a cold body. This is pulling this glute and hamstring by crossing at the ankle and just holding. I'm not tugging on the back of that hamstring. And then you work both sides. Another part of our cool down technique is, again, we've got the body nice and warm, pliable. We use a little bit of foam rolling. Loosen up the back. If we've done a lot of back work like we were showing earlier, it's like getting a massage with a foam roller. Our interval resistance sessions are 30 minutes. They fit perfectly into an active lifestyle. As I said, please look at our YouTube channel and our Facebook page for testimonials from real people, your neighbors, that are getting great results. This is Doug Seward from My House Fitness in Ponte Vedra Beach, hoping you're living fit.